Picture this, it's bedtime and your child's arguing like a tiny lawyer. Arms crossed, voice loud, and zero plans to back down. Sounds familiar? You are not alone. Strong-willed children push boundaries like it's an Olympic sport. And for parents, it's exhausting. But what if I told you there is a way to set limits without power struggles? I am Dr. Tanisha Burke, your positive discipline coach, and today I am sharing 10 game-changing tips to guide that fiery spirit with love and respect. Parenting a strong-willed child can feel like navigating a storm with a tiny sailboat, challenging, exhilarating, and sometimes overwhelming. These spirited little ones bring energy, determination, and passion to everything they do, but they can also test boundaries like it's their full-time job. As a positive discipline coach, I'm here to guide you through understanding your strong-willed child and offer practical, respectful strategies to set limits that foster cooperation, self-discipline, and a stronger parent-child connection. You might be wondering, what is a strong-willed child? Well, a strong-willed child is a child with a robust sense of self, an unwavering determination to assert their independence, and a natural inclination to question authority or resist directives that don't align with their desires. These children are often described as persistent, opinionated, intense, and fiercely independent. They are the ones who argue their case with the logic of a seasoned lawyer, refuse to back down from a challenge, and seem to have an internal compass guiding them, even when it points in the opposite direction of what you've asked. We're now going to look at 5 key characteristics of a strong-willed child. And as we go through these, you might notice some of these characteristics in your own children. The first characteristic is that they are persistent. They don't give up easily, whether it's negotiating for one more story at bedtime or insisting on wearing mismatched shoes to school. The second characteristic of a strong-willed child is emotional intensity. Their reactions, whether joy, frustration, or anger, are big and bold, often catching parents off guard. The third characteristic is independence. They crave control over their choices and resist being told what to do without a compelling reason. The fourth characteristic of a strong-willed child is curiosity and creativity. They often are deep thinkers who want to understand the why behind rules and expectations. The fifth and final characteristic we will look at today is leadership potential. The same tenacity that drives you up the wall today could make them a trailblazer tomorrow. While these traits can make parenting feel like a tug-of-war, they're also signs of a child with incredible potential. The goal of positive discipline isn't to break their spirit, but to channel it constructively while teaching them how to navigate the world with respect and responsibility. Why is setting limits with a strong-willed child extremely important? Limits provide structure, safety, and a sense of security for all children. But for strong-willed kids, they are especially crucial. Without clear boundaries, their natural drive to push can spiral into chaos, leaving both parent and a child frustrated. However, the way we set these limits matter. Harsh punishments or power struggles often backfire with strong-willed children, which fuels defiance instead of cooperation. Positive discipline offers a middle path, firm boundaries paired with kindness, respect, and collaboration. So here are my top positive discipline tips for setting limits with your strong-willed child. Our first tip is to connect before you correct. Strong-willed children often dig in their heels when they feel unheard or disrespected. Before setting a limit, take a moment to connect with your child emotionally. Get down to their level, make eye contact, and acknowledge their feelings. For example, if they're refusing to put away toys, say, "I see you're really into your game right now, and it's hard to stop. I get that." This small act of empathy builds trust and makes them more receptive to what comes next. Our second tip is to offer limited choices. Strong-willed children thrive on autonomy, so give them a sense of control within your boundaries. Instead of saying, "Put on your shoes right now," try, "Do you want to wear your red sneakers or your blue boots?" By offering two acceptable choices, you maintain the limits. Shoes must be worn, while letting them feel empowered. Keep choices simple and aligned with your goal. Too many options can overwhelm them or derail the process. The third tip is to be clear and consistent. Vague or inconsistent limits are like catnip to a strong-willed child. They'll exploit the wiggle room faster than you can say, "Time out." State your expectations calmly and specifically. For example, "We need to leave the park in 5 minutes. When the timer beeps, we'll walk to the car together." Follow through every time. Consistency shows them that limits aren't negotiable, even if they push back with Oscar-worthy theatrics. The fourth tip is to explain the why but keep it short. Strong-willed children are more likely to cooperate when they understand the reasoning behind a rule. Keep your explanation brief and age appropriate. For example, "We'll hold hands in the parking lot because cars can't see little people easily." Avoid long lectures. They'll tune out or argue back. The goal is to satisfy their curiosity, not win a debate. Also, you can use natural consequences when possible. Instead of imposing arbitrary punishments, let natural consequences teach the lesson when it's safe to do so. If they refuse to wear a jacket on a chilly day, let them feel the cold, with a jacket handy for when they change their mind. Natural consequences tie the outcome directly to their choice, which resonates with their logical, cause and effect driven minds. Also, it's important to pick your battles wisely. Not every hill is worth dying on. If your strong-willed child insists on wearing a superhero costume to the grocery store, does it really matter? Save your energy for non-negotiables like safety, for example, car seats, or respect, for example, not hitting. Letting them win small battles builds goodwill and makes them more likely to comply when it counts. It is also important to stay calm in the storm. When your strong-willed child pushes back, and they definitely will, your calm demeanor is your superpower. Yelling or losing your cool hands them the rein in the power struggle. Take a deep breath, lower your voice, and model the self-control you want them to learn. Say, for example, "I'm going to take a moment and then we'll figure this out together." This not only de-escalates the situation, but also shows them how to handle frustration constructively. Our eighth tip is to focus on problem solving together. Invite your strong-willed child to brainstorm solutions with you. For example, if bedtime is a nightly battle, say, "We need to be rested for tomorrow. How can we make bedtime smoother?" They might suggest a story or a special blanket, ideas they're more likely to follow through on because they helped to create them. This collaborative approach taps into their leadership qualities and reduces resistance. And a big one is to praise effort, not just compliance. Strong-willed kids often hear what they're doing wrong, which can chip away at their confidence. Catch them being good and praise the process, not just the outcome. For example, you might say, "I noticed how hard you worked to clean up your blocks, even though you didn't want to. That took a lot of strength." This reinforces positive behavior without making them feel like they're giving in. Our 10th and final tip is to be patient with progress. Change doesn't happen overnight, especially with a child who's wired to test limits. Celebrate small wins. For example, a tantrum that ends a minute sooner, a yes instead of a no, and trust that your consistent, respectful approach is planting seeds for long-term growth. Their strong will, guided by your loving limits, will one day be their greatest asset. Parenting a strong-willed child isn't about taming them. It's about teaching them how to harness their intensity for good. With positive discipline, you're not just setting limits, you're building a relationship based on mutual respect and understanding. Yes, there will be tough days when their determination feels like a brick wall, but behind that wall is a child with the potential to move mountains if only we guide them with patience, firmness, and love. So, take a deep breath, fellow parent. You've got this. Your strong-willed child isn't here to break you. They're here to teach you just as much as you were here to teach them. We're now at the end of our video as we look at how we can set limits with our strong-willed children. We hope that you found this information informative, and we would love to hear from you. Which of the 10 tips worked best for you? Also, if you have friends or family who have strong-willed children and they're struggling, please share this video with them and also encourage them to subscribe to our channel. Also, are you a subscriber? If you're not, please subscribe so that you can be connected to us and be alerted of our upcoming videos. Also, when you subscribe and you share the video, you help us to get into the algorithm so other parents like yourself can get connected to our content. Thank you so much for your support, and goodbye for now.